Hey, good evening, everybody. For those of you new to my channel, I'm just coming on here. I'm Kathy at Northstar Prepsteader. This is my channel. I have been going live for almost 2 years. Next month will be 2 years. I can't believe it. That's just amazing. And you guys look at all of my blue people. I have the great mods, excellent mods. So hi, Alicia. Good evening. And Julie. Hello. Hi, Debbie. Sunflower Mom. Hello. Good evening to you all. I hope you're having a good Monday. Here in the Midwest, we've been under a storm for the last couple days, and thank you. Yes, I finally did it. It was just like driving me crazy. Hi, Megan. How are you? So yesterday I grabbed the scissors and just was like, because the store or the hair salon that I've been going to for years, they went out of business. I think this last year was just too hard on them, and they had to close down. And you know, it takes a long time to find somebody who you feel comfortable with doing their, having hair done and stuff like that. Before I get going, guess what, guys? I forgot my power cord, so we get to take a little trip. I'll take you with me. Hello. Woo. So anyway, I haven't had a chance to really look and find. Oh, you're getting a peek of my new colors here. Hold on. There we go. Oh, I knew I was forgetting something, but to find a new person who could cut my hair. And so I used to do mine and my daughter's a lot. So I hope you guys are okay. You didn't get sick. So a virtual tour, yes. Hey, Michigan Daffodil. Hello. Spring weather in the Northwest. Oh, we have snow. So you can see it's white outside. Looky. Yes. And it's coming down very heavy right now. We got it's been snowing all day, so maybe 2 inches all day because it was just off and on and really light. I need to plug in. But in the last hour, we've gotten at least 2 inches. So it's been coming down quite heavily. Quite heavily. So there we go. We got power. Oh. So I know it's been stormy all over. Hey, Lynn. Hello. Thanks for coming in. You have freezing rain there. Yeah, I don't know if you look at a map and you see Minnesota. It came across the Rockies really, but yesterday it was really heavy over, I want to say Nebraska and South Dakota and Iowa, and it just kept sitting there. I don't even know how much snow they got. I think they got really dumped on. Hey, Grammy Karen. Hello. And we had some freezing drizzle and stuff like that, but it was 50 degrees Saturday or 52, something like that. And now it is, let me put you down a little bit. It's like 28 degrees and just heavy snow. I think southern Minnesota and southeastern Minnesota is getting heavier than I am. So when Matt and Sarah get on here, we'll find out how much. So thank you, Brenda. Thank you. I know it was like for years I did mine and the girls, and it was just like, but then I got to the point where it's like, you know what? I've been doing this long enough. It's like I need to just go get somebody else to do it every couple months. And it's not like I go every 3 or 4 weeks, it's like 2 months or something. And, I could justify the $15 every 2 months. But now I got to find somebody new. And when you're way out away from everything, it's really hard to find somebody that I guess not that you just feel comfortable with, but that can listen to you, because I know my hair. I know what it does. I know, you know, where it goes and the different things. And it's like, instead of somebody who's just like, no, I know better than you, it's like, please just listen. Just listen to me. So it's hard to find somebody who will do that. But Megan, you do your own too? Okay. Thanks, Debbie. Thank you. Yeah, there's, especially with this last year, with people being stuck at home and not being able to go out and get haircuts. We all talk about our COVID haircuts and different things, and mine was getting very long. I hadn't had it cut since right before my mom's funeral, which was the end of September. So that's a long time. We're talking 5.5 months. And when it's this length, it grows out really fast. And so I'm just like, oh, I need to do that. Alicia, you do yours and all your kids. Yep. Yep, I hear you. So it's, I have a good pair of kind of barbers, shears for cutting hair, and all it takes is that and a comb, and I'm good. Although with guys, you probably need like a razor thingy and stuff like that. So, but anyway, it just felt good to get off, because it was down to like here. I was like, I can't deal with this anymore. Oh, and it was always getting caught with everything in the back, and just all kinds of stuff. So. Don't know why that was, but you have shoulder length hair for the first time in your life. Oh, yeah, there's a lot of like gadgets out there that will help you be able to even cut it even, little things that you could, like a comb with a bar across it or something. You can bend over and like comb it all out and then cut along that. And it's like, you've got nice even hair, stuff like that. So at least that's what they advertise. But, that's the hardest thing, Lynn, actually. Yes. And so I have this bit in the back that I know is longer than everything else, but you know what? I don't see it. It doesn't bother me because I forget about it. And if somebody's going to look at the back of my head that intensely, like they have problems. Oh, there you go, Julie. You have to stick a bowl on your head and cut them around it. So, yep. Hey, Kristen, how are you? That's fine. Thank you. Thank you. Everybody knows this, so that's fun. Oh, thanks. It's a cold, windy day here. We have snow and some high winds and, heavy snow. It's still about 28 degrees, I think. Something like that. But it looks like the next week to week and a half, we're going to be just in the 30s and 40s, something like that. So I don't know. Oh, there you go, Lynn. There you go. Your daughter's mom doesn't undercut it. Not sure why in the winter, but I just, yeah. So now it's middle of March. The next one will be for summer. And get that all done. Do in the summer, one in the fall. We should be good. Hey, Sand, hello. Hi, how are you doing? 20 mile, yeah. We were up to about 30 mile an hour east winds. And whenever we get the east, that's when it gets crazy. So, hey, Parker, how are you doing? Thank you for being here. See, I remember. I was like, I had to double check though if it was you or the other one that's so close to you. But I did. I got it. So Thank you all for being here. Cold and windy there. Yep. It's cold and windy here too. So that system going across the states is really pretty big. And then there's another one coming out the west too. So, California was getting it too. Rain and snow, and was it Northern California and Oregon were getting a lot of snow. So it's crazy. Very crazy. No, 3 feet in Cheyenne. Oh my goodness. I know somebody from Minnesota who just moved to Cheyenne this last fall. So they're like, oh, 3 feet of snow. We don't normally get 3 feet of snow here, but yeah, up in the mountains. Oh my goodness. That's a lot. That is a lot. So it doesn't want to stay down. There we go. All right. So you've got 10 after. What did everybody start talking so fast? What did everybody do over the weekend? What did I do? Just stuff in the house, really. Why DOT stopped running plows because, oh my goodness, wow. Yeah, if it comes down that fast, you don't want the plows getting stuck, that's for sure. Oh my goodness. I know, Lynn, I know. Oh my goodness. Yeah, my garden was starting to get cleared out, and now it's getting all covered up again. It's really coming down hard. But we have daylight, and it'll be light here until I'm done. So one good thing about daylight savings, right? It's so hard for me to get up in the morning, though. Oh, goodness sakes. 11th birthday party on Saturday. Aw, so fun. Baking and cooking. That's a good weekend thing to do. Potting and seedlings. Kristen, you were at it. Very, very good. The church was able to reopen. Oh, nice. Very, very good. That is great. Hi, Karen. Hello. You learned repairs needed in a car. Oh, you learned that they cost more than it's worth. Oh, well, now you've got one that's working, right? Hey, Liza. Good evening. Yes, it's snowing like crazy right now, too. I wonder, have you missed it? Because it's coming down really hard right now. I might be right on the edge, right on the border or something. You did, Lynn. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness, that's great. You smashed your finger yesterday. Oh, ouch. That's not what we mean by hitting the thumbs up. I'm sorry, Grandma Karen. It just came right after that. Oh, goodness sakes. Ouch, that hurts, Parker. That's not good. That's not good. So, so hopefully this week, I've got a very, very full week. Next weekend, I am, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm leading music at a retreat. So my week is pretty full trying to get ready for that. But in there somewhere, I need to try to plant my herbs and my onions and my peppers. So get those started inside here because those are going to take a long time. And oh, you did get it. Okay, your daughter learned about it. Oh no, Eliza. Oh no. I know that was bad, Grammy Karen. Garlic, that has to be out in the garden. I'm just talking about starting some things inside here. So, yeah. So, Grammy, are you asking Alicia that or me? Because I think we are starting to, yeah, most things are opening up here. most everything's opening up. Everybody still wants you to wear a mask and everything. It's not like Texas, the lucky duckies. Yep, it's an inner healing retreat that I'm leading worship with, and going to give a few testimonies and kind of work with the retreat leader on that. So anyway, getting ready. That takes some preparation. So I'm a little behind the ball on that, but I'm trying to work on it. So she in the car. Okay, just went in oh, yeah, that's scary though too. Hey, Matt and Sarah, hello. How are you? Connie, hi. So Matt and Sarah, are you getting the snow? That's okay, Dave. Thanks so much for being here. Grandma Karen, did you have any other questions about that, or you just wanted to know if that's what I was talking about? 13 states have dropped all restrictions. Nice. Oh, that's good. Yeah, and that's one thing we have to realize is that businesses those are, privately owned. Even all the huge big box stores, they're still privately owned, and so they're not public spaces. Even though they open it to the public, it's still a private space, and so they do have the right to make their own rules and decisions on that. But so hopefully it'll improve. You have 6 inches now. I've got maybe 4 to 5, something like that. I think you guys got it a lot more than I did, but it's coming down very heavy right now. So, oh, I see what you're talking about, Karen. Yes. They're limiting it to 50 people, so that there can still be some spacing and different things like that. But yeah, it is pretty amazing that they're allowing us to have that. It is. It's great. Hello, Lisa. Hi. Okay, well, hopefully she doesn't have it right in the middle of all of this too. So until midnight. Okay. I haven't looked to see when ours is supposed to end, but it's been going all day. So I'm going to start herbs and peppers and onions. I'm going to transplant my lettuce so that I can have my pots. So this bushy thing, harvest it, clean it, put it in the fridge, and then transplant everything so I can keep it going. Sean, you made it. Hello. Okay, Kristen. Yep. Well, I think it might take a little bit for people to, for a lot of people to get used to it again. But anyway, thank you, Kristen. Thank you so much. All right. I'm going to do a garden tip first, since it's like snowing like crazy, and I just, it kind of is there. Hey, Will, how are you doing? Thanks for coming in. My garden tip is, at least up north here, when we can get out and it's not covered with snow, but for anybody else too, to trim away any dead plants or growth from last year. That helps to allow the new shoots to come up. Fall was so crazy with me between my mom passing away and getting COVID and just all this stuff. You guys know, I didn't get much done outside. And so I do have a lot of plants out there, like my peonies and stuff like that I just never trim down. Every fall, I trim them down to about 3 inches or so, because those stalks just die off and the new shoots come up from the ground. So if I need to get out and trim off all of those stalks yet, because they're just all dried and sitting out there. So to trim those all up and allow for the new shoots to be able to come up. Otherwise, they're going to be, they can come up, but they're going to be all crowded out and they won't get the light and yada, yada, and stuff like that. So there's the same within your garden. If you have herbs and stuff that you didn't cut back and it's all dead growth and stuff like that, just get in the garden and start cleaning it up so all the new growth can come up for the perennials and they can do their thing. So that is my my tip. If they're annuals that you left in the garden, just trim them down to the dirt and see if, you know, leave the roots in if you can, to like compost into the soil and just plant around them. Don't try to plant right on top of the roots or something like that. But hey, Patty, hello. Peonies there get botryitis on their leaves, so you have to Okay. I am not familiar with that. I usually, once they bloom and then the blooms die off, I trim back the bushes from all the stalks that had the blossoms on them. And then in the fall, as they're starting to brown up and stuff like that, and they're just not lush and green anymore, then I just cut them right to the ground. But I never got to do that. So, oh no, oh Parker, he's the wrong sprayer. Oh dear, oh, it sounds like huge labels on things, right? Well, maybe you can, Megan. That would be nice. That would be great. That would be good. So, but yes, do that little bit in the garden. So I still have like the vines from my squash that are intertwined in my fencing and stuff that I need to clear out. So as soon as we're done with all the snow stuff, I can get out there and start cleaning up things and getting them ready. But if you don't prune yours in the fall, yep, there's a lot of things just to get ahead of it, to take care of things at a certain time, that prevents a whole lot of problems later on. Absolutely. You ordered BT for your pesky oriental moths this week. Ooh, good for you. Good for you. All right. We are going to be talking about BONESET tonight. So I've heard a little about it. I really didn't know about much. I actually had gotten the seeds. So awesome. Oh, that's great, Dave. So this is what it looks like, BONESET. It is a perennial, zone 3 and warmer. Beneficial insects love this, especially butterflies. They absolutely love it. It's easy to grow, and it's a highly medicinal flower. Can thrive in most soils, even wet, likes full sun or even part shade. So it's like not super fussy or anything. You can sow it inside. Start inside, or there's another trick. It likes to actually be planted in the fall. You seed your ground in the fall, and then in the spring it'll come up because it likes, there you go, Dave, another one, right? Another one. It grows 3 to 6 feet tall. So it's another tall one. But another, the flowers look a lot like, the yarrow that we talked about before. Let me get my picture. I ended up getting, I showed you guys the white yarrow, but I got the summer berries one too. Woohoo! So I'll be able to get that. Anyway, there's a lot of 3 to 6 foot tall ones that are going to look a little bit similar. So it's going to be important to be able to identify what you've got. So there you go, Dave. Yep, stratification. So it likes to do that. The other way you can do it is put it in to put the seeds into some sandy soil. They said really some wet sand, and put it in the refrigerator for a couple weeks. That helps with that stratification. There you go, Patty, throwing out all those words. Yes, there are many many of those in that family, which is really, really great. All right. And this one I got at Fruition Seeds. Oops. I did put in the description below the video, I think 3 or 4 different places you can get them at. Does that help? Can you see that? And so this is Fruition Seeds. There's a couple others. I know your nerd was showing. Hey, Country Homestead Preacher, hello. Oh, thanks for popping in. I appreciate that. So, yeah, and I put the links to there where I got the information on the benefits and everything. So you can do that. But to give you a little history on this first, low-growing sedum. I'm not familiar with sedum, so I wouldn't know. Michigan daffodil, I don't know. Patty might be able to tell you. I'm not sure. So it's a plant, obviously. People use the dried leaf and flowers to make medicine. It's 75 days to harvest, which is great for our zone. You can also find it as a native wildflower in the eastern half of North America. So anywhere from like Manitoba all the way down to Texas to the Atlantic Ocean, that half of the country, you can find it wild, actually. So it is part of the wildflowers, but you can also grow it, what do you call it, at home, domestically, I guess you could say. In the 1918 flu epidemic or pandemic, the 1918 flu, you know, we've heard about that this last year. In that pandemic, the U.S. government actually subsidized BONESET tincture. So everyone had access to it because it's an incredible immune boosting medicine. So you dry the flowers and the leaves. I think really it's mostly the flowers. You dry them and then make a tincture, which means that you take the dried flower parts and put them in a jar, add vodka to it, let it sit for 3 or 4 weeks, shake it once in a while, and you make your tincture with that. You strain it out, and you've got, you just bottle it, and then you can take dropperfuls and add it to your tea, your water, whatever you drink. You can put it right under your tongue if you want to. But it is incredibly medicinal, probably one of the highest of all of the plants out there. Some of the other names that this goes by, let me see, because a lot of you guys are saying that. I didn't get my notes kind of all together here. It's also known as thoroughwort, sweat plant, vegetable antimony, feverwort. So there you go, Kristen. You've heard of feverwort. That's what this is. Agweed, Indian sage, sweating plant, crosswort, eupatorium, thorough stem, thorough wax, wild Isaac, wood boneset, teasel, tyrrell, and wild sage. So it's actually in the daisy family, which is kind of interesting. So it includes asters and daisies and stuff like that. Yeah, list to add boneset. Yeah. So again, native to the eastern United States. It was introduced to the American colonists by Indians who had been using this for breaking fever with the help of heavy perspiration. It's found near low wet patches and near reed canary grass. So the root fibers are applied to hunting whistles because of the belief that it would increase the whistle's ability to call deer. So Anyway, I will get into some of the other things, but I want to get back to that. So it's a gorgeous plant, often 5 feet or more tall, attracting butterflies and native pollinators. They're white blooms, and they bloom mostly in August. So you've got all summer to have it growing, and then you've got a harvest when everything else is coming out to harvest. But it's a hardy perennial. Thrives in diverse places, adaptive and abundant in moist as well as dry soils. So it's a huge immune system booster. So if you have even things like swollen lymph nodes and phlegm, your chest is not clearing up and different things like that, you can make a tincture. You can make a tea too. It's a little bitter, so that's why they kind of really recommend tincture as the number one use for that. Okay, it's used to, let me get my list here. Induce sweating in fevers, colds, and flu. To stimulate the immune system. It is good for malaria, for rheumatism, for muscle pains, spasms, arthritis, pneumonia, pleurisy, and gout. You can sweeten it and make it into a syrup if you want to, so it doesn't have to be just a tincture. So you could take all the blossoms and boil them down with honey or sugar water or something like that. You could make a syrup with that too. Some of those recipes and all that kind of stuff. Oh, there you go, Megan. I was just getting to this. Yep, BONESET is Eupatorium perfoliatum. The leaves, I'm not sure. You may know of a tea herb that helps with fibromyalgia or inflammation. There are actually a lot of them that help with inflammation. I'm not sure if there are any that are specific for fibromyalgia, because that one's kind of a more recent, 25, 30 years, more recent diagnosis for people. So that I don't know about that Michigan daffodil. So, oh, Patty, you're doing great. Thanks. Not going so well with the black walnut is still fun. Those are hard to work with. Oh, those are very hard to work with. So, so for fevers and colds, you can make a tea using 1 to 2 teaspoons of dried BONESET. You can steep it covered for 15 minutes, strain it and sweeten it until just drink a cup every hour until symptoms improve. Helps with your digestive system. I've got 10 pages of stuff here. So anyway, just kind of think about the last year, because in 1918, the U.S. government said, hey, this is great stuff. Here's a tincture. And they made it available for people to get over the pandemic at that point in time. All right. So it's used to reduce fever. It increases the urine output, causes vomiting, and treats constipation too. It is also used to treat influenza, swine flu, acute bronchitis, nasal inflammation, joint pain, rheumatism, again, fluid retention, dengue fever, and pneumonia. It's used as a stimulant to cause sweating. All of these things sound, hey, Christina, hi, very much like what hydroxychloroquine does. And that is the most effective prescription medicine right now that can fight what we currently have. And they're not allowed to, the pharmacies aren't allowed to issue it. The doctors can't. So BONESET treats malaria just like hydroxychloroquine does, treats dengue fever, all that kind of stuff. So you can also buy this already dried and bagged and stuff like that. I think Mountain Rose Herbs, I don't have a link there for that, but if one of the mods wants to go to Mountain Rose Herbs and look for that, I think that they sell the already dried stuff that you could have if you want it right away to have on hand, just in case. But you shouldn't be taking it internally, by mouth in large amounts. So really do be careful. Some plants that are related to BONESET contain chemicals called, I'm going to butcher this, pyrrolizidine alkaloids that can damage the liver. So as we've heard with a lot of these things, if you take a lot of things in, natural things in large quantities, as well as like essential oils and all that kind of stuff, it can damage your liver. So always check with your doctor about medications that you're already on to see if it's going to be, counteracting those or reacting to them or different things like that. And so it's always, and if you're pregnant or breastfeeding, always, do that to, check with your doctor. Okay. So let me see. So sowing it, again, direct sow the late fall. For growing it, keep the seedlings watered. They need even moisture in their first year of development. They may not bloom until their second year of growth. Mature plants can tolerate drought, though they reach their full potential in moist, well-drained soil. This plant may spread by rhizomes and self-seeding and can be divided after several years of growth. Cut the plant down to the ground after the first frost. This plant attracts butterflies and bees. Yay, bees! For harvesting, cut the long stems of flowers that have just opened and place them in water immediately. Strip the leaves that will fall below the water if you want them as a fresh flower. So if you're using it as an herb, keep in mind that it is toxic when fresh and must be dried before use. So that's going to be important. So that's the big thing. So if you want to take it, I would imagine probably even wearing some, rubber gloves or something as you're harvesting, just to make sure that if you're handling a lot of it and everything, that you're all good with that. So yes, moderation, exactly. Mast cell activation syndrome, fairly common. Oh, okay. Trying to avoid the new leaf. Oh, I know, you guys. That's true, Patty. That's a good point. Yes, always check with the pharmacist. They really know the things. That's because that's their business. They need to know what does. So, yep. You guys are awesome. I'm so glad that you're helping one another out. Megan, I think the causes vomiting. I think that would be like, let's say if you needed to vomit something out, if somebody had ingested something that you needed to do that, it could help to spur that on and different things. But there was only one place that but anyway, because it induces sweating, it stimulates your system. It's really meant to get the poison out of your system. So you want to make sure that you're taking all eupatoriums, including poinsettia, can cause a dermatitis in some people. Yeah. Feel free to, there you go. Okay. So let me see if I'm missing anything. Okay, because it's not called BONESET. It says BONESET is a fairly common plant that is not widely used in today's herbal practices. It is a very potent antiviral, and when used as a hot tea, it is also diaphoretic. There is some argument about whether or not this herb is useful for broken bones, but I'm convinced that it is. It can be used to recalcify teeth. So if you've had if you know somebody who's had calcium deficiency, or they're, you'll see some people once in a while, their teeth are really starting to like gray out or something, that they don't have a good calcium coating on that this could actually recalcify it, um, which is just amazing, isn't it? I mean, God gave us so much here. Um, and that would be like, frequently taking tea, having a cup of tea every day or something to help recalcify that. Um, it can help ease bone pain and repair crushed and broken bones. It seems to do that by increasing the blood flow to the periosteum. I think I said that right. The thin tissue surrounding our bones. It is also helpful for osteoporosis and osteomalacia. Malacia. Um, it seems also the BONESET can work on the joints and nerves that are part of your skeletal system. So it can be used for multiple sclerosis, and has even been shown to rebuild your myelin sheath. I have no idea what that is. I haven't heard of that before. I know, Megan, right? Oh, BONESET is heavily antibacterial. Again, especially useful to our immune system. Measles, mumps, scarlet fever, and yellow fever. Ooh. Staphylococcus aureus, staph infection maybe, typhoid fever, and Rocky Mountain spotted fever. Those are things that, they used to be around. We haven't had to deal with them for a long time, but who knows if that's something that would come back. And especially if it takes a couple years before you can actually harvest these. I don't know. I mean, that's what one source said. So be like, get it in the ground, get it going now, right? And all of these, when you're growing them or coming across them wild, you've got to make sure you identify them well. I think that's why I feel a lot more comfortable growing them, because the fatty part that goes around a nerve bundle is the myelin sheath. Okay. Thanks, Julie. Looking at the root problems. Yeah, that's their training, is to medicate, because it's easier. It's something that is it's a more controlled solution, I guess you could say, rather than giving you a little baggie of dried flowers and say, here, do this and do this and do this. It's like easier. It's like, take this pill 2 times a day, whatever. And the pills are, they're a set size, a set amount. People don't have to worry about them. The doctors don't have to worry about you getting too much of something, not enough of something, so it's there's a more certain regulation on that. But yes, it is a Band-Aid on things. What was I starting to say on this? To grow these and to have them. So because they're dried, get them dried into jars and put, moisture absorbers in there, oxygen absorbers if you need to, and seal them up so that they can last for a long time. And then, but as you can, what's even better is to make tinctures out of them within the year of being able to harvest these. So get a tincture. When you're putting them in vodka, they're going to last for years and years and years, if not forever. So if you can get your own sets of tinctures from things that you grow, and then as these grow and spread, you'll know what they can do, and you can help other people around you too, right? So, hey, Stringfield Ridge. Oh, thanks. That's so sweet. I'm joining you for dinner. Thank you. Yeah, I know it's hard, Michigan Daffodil. So, But again, it was a very successful herb during the 1918 flu epidemic when nothing else worked, they said. Nothing else worked. So it's also good for the digestive system because of its profound bitterness. For some reason, I don't know a lot about all the digestion and what works for acid and what reduces it, different things like that. But it said it is good for acid reflux too. Another plus, right? So again, don't eat it fresh. That's very, very it's toxic and potent and different things. So let me see what else we have here on that. It's a large, hairy, clumpy-forming, herbaceous perennial herb. Large and hairy, about 5 feet tall. However, it is usually only 2 to 4 feet tall. They said that's the average. The plant is found growing in low woods, thickets, everything else we talked about. The stem, it says it does well in both sandy and clay soils. So, I mean, it's like you don't have to worry about having a specific soil there, which is great. The stem is very straight, stout. It's cylindrical, hairy, thick, and rough textured. So it's not a smooth stem at all. The leaves, Patty, you were asking about that. So there you go, Megan. The leaves are opposite leaves, which means, so here's a stem, you have a leaf here and a leaf here. So they're opposite going into the stem. So, and the leaves are up to 8 inches long, but they're 4 times as long as wide. So they're narrow. They would be narrow and they taper to the end. Okay. They are toothed along the margins and with a wide base distinctively surrounding the stem so as to appear that the stem pierced a single leaf at the midpoint of 2 blades. So says the vein work is very conspicuous. The leaf surfaces have fine hair, particularly the underside, so which is kind of cool. The flowers are about 1/2 inch across and are composed of 7 to 11 florets. Each floret is about 1/6 to 1/5 of an inch across, with a white corolla that has 5 spreading triangular lobes at the throat. So anyway, lots of good little places for the bees to find their stuff in there. The fruit is a dry black seed with a small tuft. So in the fall, you can leave them on there and harvest the seed, or you can let it just go and it will reseed itself. And you can do that. Hey, Gil. Hello. Thanks for coming in. Oh, no worries. No worries. We're just in the middle of a snowstorm here. So that's too, Christian. Very good. Yeah, we're all learning. Back to it being hairy. Yes. Hi, Christy. Yes, it is a perennial, and the average height is 2 to 4 feet, but it very easily can be 5 feet or more. So in planning where you would plant that, realize that it's going to be tall. You don't want it to shade or crowd out other smaller plants. If you're putting it up against like a wall or a fence or something, put it in the back so it can be tall. There's a couple others that are really tall. Yarrow is tall. A number of other ones that we talked about already are really tall. So yes, add BONESET to it. So let me see if there are any other benefits. It helps to relieve aches and soreness related to the flu or cold. BONESET herbal tea is used extensively in Germany to treat multiple viral respiratory infections. there you go. So they haven't given up on it. Again, treats malaria. If you're going into a country that malaria is a big problem, bring a little bag of dried BONESET with you or something, right? Yep, and dengue fever. I wonder if it would help with, ooh. Thank you. Thank you, Patty. I have white, and then I got a one with the colors in there. So it was just like, I want some color. I don't want just all white flowers. So, oh, that'd be good, Gil. Yeah, let her know about it. Can even help with skin diseases. Antispasmodic. Can be a laxative. Yeah, it was used by Native Americans to treat malaria. So huge thing. So anyway, that was pretty much it. So if you guys, I put the links again below in the description in the show notes. So if you want to check on more, if you forgot what I was telling you and you want to dig into it more, feel free to do that with those links. I also provided 3 different links for where you can get the seeds. I didn't. But Granny Karen had to leave. So Karen, if you already left, sorry if you're still here, but I just want to thank all my mods. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. Oh, cool, Deb. That's so great. Yeah. Great. I don't necessarily have to worry about malaria in Minnesota, but you never know, right? Hey, Dave. Hello. Thanks for coming in. I don't know how many of you watch Lisa on Sutton Stays, but about maybe a month and a half ago or so, she had kind of a contest going and everything. I didn't win it or anything, but she was showing how she made some bread in like a little round loaf for her and Phil in this ceramic pottery bread bowl. And everybody loved it so much. And it was just like, oh my gosh. And so she contacted the people. It's a mom and pop shop who make these, and they have a website online. It's called Neil Pottery, and that's their website right there. So, yep, Michigan Daffodil, exactly, because that's what hydroxychloroquine does. That's what it's good for, and that's the best thing that's combating what we have right now. So yes, and so I ordered one of the bowls, and they're so cute. I would say it's about 7 inches in diameter, but isn't that just so beautiful? Just so sweet. And anyway, it comes with, so fun. Let me get this. They sent this pack of cards here, and they're all recipes that they put in here. So like dill bread. And they have the recipes in here. Ooh, I just tightened this. That's so good. It's dill bread. They have cheddar herb bread, beer bread. What is this? Greek olive bread. Oh my goodness, that sounds so good. I love Mediterranean breads, but the pumpkin bread, monkey bread, strawberry tea bread. Does it have fresh strawberries in it? Oh, frozen. You probably could use fresh. Sun-dried tomato and Parmesan bread. Woo! I know, Parker, right? Neil's classic white bread, sweet honey wheat bread, and rosemary and olive oil bread. They give you, it's like 10 recipes or something that they give you along with this. So it's just so sweet. But I just had to show you guys this. I'm hoping to get some. So anyway, these are their business cards. Shows the pots there. And there you go. I mean, they're for handmade pottery. It's, you know, you're going to spend more than you would at the store anyway, but it's quality and it's, I mean, I love pottery and I don't have that much. I mean, it's been years since I've bought any pottery. So every once in a while I'll get one piece and it's like, ugh. But if you go to, and I don't know if it's still open or not, but at Sutton's Days, she had a coupon code. I think it was for like, it was either $10 off or 10% off, something like that. So yes, Patty, they've got a lot of other things too, but they're beautiful, beautiful work. Karen, I'm not sure. It doesn't say anything in here. So that there might be something on the website. But the glaze and everything and the clay would have to be food grade. So otherwise they wouldn't be able to sell it. So, oh, Christy, I'm so sorry. I know you were saying last night that you were in the ER with her, so I'm sorry. Yep. So, yes, they have an Etsy account. So I think that's what, neilpottery.com. All right. And Christy, I will be praying for her. Cindy. Oh, that's really scary. So my prep tip for tonight is take another inventory of all your jars and your lids and your rings at this point. Now, if you've been consuming things over the last couple months or whatever, trying to figure out where you're at, and especially if you have a better idea now of what you're going to be growing, what you're going to need to harvest, and then see where you're at with all of your supplies for the upcoming season for gardening and canning. And remember that it's like, okay, well, I won't need things till August because that's when the green beans start coming in or whatever. But remember that we get some early season crops. There's rhubarb and strawberries. I don't know when asparagus comes in. Isn't asparagus like a spring crop too, if it's well established? I can't remember. I don't grow it, so I'm not sure. But there are some spring crops that you're going to need some things for. So just kind of keep an eye out for that. You can find some things here and there that, are you kidding me, Dave? Oh my gosh. Because, I was on Amazon the other day looking at I don't need them, but I was just looking at what a box of lids was, or even Walmart. It was like $35 for a 12 pack of lids. It was crazy. Hey, Geared for Life. Hello. You hit your mom had me. Oh, wow. Ooh, nice. Parker, your aunt had called you saying they had 2 cases of half gallons. Okay. Well, good. Okay. Yeah, asparagus is early then. So, yeah, just really hunt around for them. And do be careful, though, of like off-brand lids, because sometimes they won't seal. And I would hate to have you lose your food to that, So the other thing is, if you have jars that don't seal, you can do one of 2 things with them. You can either take them, 3 things. You could eat it, put it in the fridge, eat it within a few days, or you could actually turn around and freeze it, or you could even dehydrate it. So if it's, even bone broth, you can dehydrate. But yeah, it's crazy out there. All right. So yeah, and for the early fruits, or you make jams and pie fillings and syrups. Don't forget about making syrup, and you could bottle it, so you don't have to worry about having like pint jars with lids and stuff like that. Actually get bottles that you could seal up. So something to think about. All right, guys. So good to have you all here. Yeah, you know what? In a lot of places, Walmart, and I know Target too, they will have jars, but they won't allow you to buy them for a pickup or a delivery at all. So you have to actually go in store to get them. So there are some of those things too. You have to actually go in the stores and look for things. So no, I haven't gone to WEC at all either. So but all right, you guys, take care. God bless. Always have hope, and stay warm and dry this week if you can. So glad that you guys were here. Take care. Bye-bye.